always, I'm Josh Stern with Moreno.
How's it going?
And today we're going to be talking to you about this new beer we got called, from the gigantic brewing company called, I don't know.
What's we doing?
This is the Chicago Brew Crew. As always, I'm Josh Stern here with Mike Moreno.
What's going on?
And today we're going to talk about a really good DIPA beer or double IPA beer from a gigantic brewing company called Hole in the Head. And before we start talking about the actual beer itself, I'm going to give you a little research on the brewing company itself, which is located in Portland, Oregon, by two men named Ben Love and Von Habig. And they like to say that they're a small brewing company who specializes in creativity with their beer. They like to have short time spans for distribution of their beer and having a large variety of beers. And they want to keep small. And I really appreciate that actually in a brewing company nowadays. They're really good with IPAs. Obviously, we're going to try one of their best here. So, Mike, you want to tell us a little bit about the beer itself?
Yeah, so I've actually been hearing a lot of good things on the street about this beer. Like I was saying before, or like Josh was saying, this is a fairly new company, and this is actually brand new to Chicago itself. I tried finding them on Beer Advocate to kind of just find a little bit of information on it. It wasn't even on there yet, so I don't really know a lot about this beer right now. It is 8.5 alcohol by volume. IBUs are unknown, but for those of you that don't know out there, a DIPA, otherwise known as a double IPA, the reason why it's called that is because it has about 30 to 50% more hops than a regular IPA. So it's definitely going to be a very strong tasting beer. I'm expecting to get a little bit like a citric flavor to it. And also, this is actually their number 10. So they change their beers out every 3 months. And this is their number 10 beer, so it's only going to be around for a little bit. And yeah, let's try this out and see what we think. It's a nice crisp gold, not a really dark color. Very typical of what you'd find in IPA actually. And definitely you can smell the hops. The hops are definitely really strong in here as well. Yeah, the citrus, just like I was expecting, you could definitely smell the citrus in there. So let's try this bad boy out and see what you think. Cheers. So this is definitely a really, really hoppy beer.
It's definitely a double IPA.
Yeah, you could tell it's a double IPA. It's really good. It's actually surprisingly very smooth. It is a strong flavor, but it's like the aftertaste is very smooth. So it's not it's not a long-lasting flavor in there. But I actually like this beer. What do you think of this?
Yeah, it's definitely got the characteristics of a good IPA. Which is not too bitter, but you really get the flavor of the hops, and you also get the other components of the beer, which you sometimes miss with a bad IPA, where you just get the bitter, and you're just like, this is an IPA, but it doesn't taste like anything else. Yeah, I really like it. I mean, it's smooth, like you said. It's got a nice aftertaste. You do taste the alcohol in it, which I like with my IPA. Some people don't like that, but you get it in the back of your throat.
You definitely get that alcohol in there.
And yeah, the most important thing, I think, you said it's smooth. I could sip this beer, I could probably chug a little bit of this beer, wouldn't be too bad.
Definitely pretty good. If you were to rate this beer right now, what would you give this on a scale of 1 to 5?
I don't know. I'd probably give this a 4. I've had better IPAs before. I think Bell said maybe a couple maybe better IPAs, but Gigantic does know how to brew IPAs. This is definitely a West Coast hoppy. Like you kind of get the Sierra Nevada kind of hops from this, like that kind of sweeter citrusy hops.
Yeah, definitely the hops.
I like it a lot. It's good.
You could definitely tell that it's from Portland. The hops from the West Coast are definitely a lot sweeter than other hops that you can have, not as bitter. Overall, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I like my IPAs to be a little more bitter. I'm gonna give it a 3.5, somewhere around there. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely a good beer. If you like your beers to be a little sweeter, I'm not gonna say it's overly sweet, but it is not exactly to my liking, so I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
But overall, I definitely think it's a good beer. I like what Gigantic is doing, changing up their beers every 3 months. I think it kind of makes us more interested in like, oh, what's the next beer they're gonna come out with. So I think it is actually a pretty cool brewing company. I'm definitely excited to try out their other beers, and yeah, I mean, I really can't say much more about this. But yeah, for those of you out there, if you could find Hole in the Head from Gigantic, highly recommend trying out their beers, or if you can find this one, definitely try this. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook. And for more of our great beers, you can find us at beermenu.com. And on that note, I guess we're going to sign off. Cheers to the Don.